Going further, and in fact a little backwards and deeper, I have a triangle ABC, and I draw the angle bisector, I know they're going to meet somewhere, and this point is the in center. So two angle bisectors will definitely meet somewhere or the other. How do I know that this third angle bisector also crosses at the same point, at the point I? How can I prove that? So for that, what I'll do is I'll draw these two lines, and from this point I'll draw an in circle inside the triangle which is touching or just touching all three sides. So the radius is going to be r. The radius is going to be r. Now I will use a couple of properties of the circle which are fairly straightforward. The radius always creates a 90-degree angle with the tangent. That is one property. And secondly, if I think of a circle and I think of a point outside the circle, if it creates two tangents, call it y and z, xy is going to be equal to xz. So this radius is definitely equal to this radius. I also know this radius is going to create a 90-degree angle with this particular side. This radius is going to create a 90-degree angle with this side. This radius is going to create a 90-degree angle with this side. And now I will draw a general line from B to I. I don't know whether this is the angle bisector or not. I have just drawn a line from point B to the incenter. And now I can see two triangles in action. This is one triangle and this is another one. If I think of these two triangles, these two sides are equal to each other. These two sides are also equal to each other. As we just saw, tangents dropped from an external point are equal to each other. So these two tangents are equal to each other. And this is obviously the common side. So you have SSS, and now you can use congruence. That means all the sides and all the angles are equal to each other. This angle corresponds to this angle, so they are also equal to each other. So now you notice that when you draw a line from B to I being the incenter where two angle bisectors have already met, this line is also going to be the angle bisector, because it will divide this big angle into two equal parts. And how did we prove this? Using mostly congruence, though a couple of circle properties. Repeat them if you want. Radius creates a 90-degree angle with the tangent. Wherever you want to create it, the angle created by the radius will always be 90-degree. And the other idea being that if you have a circle and you create another point P outside it and drop two tangents, these two tangents are going to be equal to each other. Using these properties and using the SSS congruence, I proved this triangle equal to this triangle, and therefore BI is also the bisector. Therefore proving that all the three angle bisectors meet at the same point. It's not like two of them meet at one point and the third one crosses somewhere else. It's not the case. All of them pass through the same point, and this point is known as the incenter. So looking at one more property of the incircle and the radius of the incircle, the radius is going to be area of the triangle, the whole triangle, divided by the semi-perimeter. Semi-perimeter is nothing but perimeter A plus B plus C by 2. And area of the triangle we already know is going to be half base into height, or whatever other formula that I want to use. Maybe somebody has directly given me the area of the triangle. So this is another key result, that if you are thinking of the in circle, the radius of such a circle is going to be the area upon the semi perimeter. And once again, obviously I want to prove it. How will I do that? So name the triangle A, B, C, you have I, you have D, you have somewhere E and F, let's say. And once again, remember, this radius is not a continuation of the, maybe the angle bisector will follow such a line which is not perpendicular to BC, but this R is. So I am now thinking of the triangle BIC, this triangle, you can shade it also. if I look at the area of such a triangle, it is going to be base into height, and height is this perpendicular radius. That means the area of this particular triangle is going to be BC, which in our nomenclature was A. So it is going to be A into the radius, or half of or half base into height. So if I'm thinking of this triangle, my area is half A into R. Similarly, if I think of this triangle now, I have this as the base, which was small c, and once again this is the height, the radius is the height, because it is going to be perpendicular to the side. Because a circle just touches the side, that means the circle, that means the side is a tangent to the circle. Radius and tangent are 90 degrees. So once again the area of this triangle is going to be half C into R. Now look at this particular triangle, CIA. The area of this triangle is going to be, this was small b into radius, or half b into radius. Now think of the big triangle. The big triangle is made up of these three triangles. That means if I add them up, I will get the area of the whole triangle. So add them up, put a plus sign. So this is the area of the triangle. Let me call it, this is the area of the triangle. And now take R common. So I'll be left with half of A plus half of B plus half of C. Rewrite this as A plus B plus C by 2. And now move this here below the area of the triangle, because area of the triangle was equal to R into that expression. So R is equal to area divided by A plus B plus C by 2. And hence proven that the radius of the in circle is also equal to the area divided by the semi-perimeter. What is the semi-perimeter? It is perimeter divided by 2. What is the area of the overall triangle? Who knows? You could be using base into height, you could be using Heron's formula, there could be some other information given to you. But if I have the area and I have the semi-perimeter, I can find the radius by doing so, and proven also. Staying with the incenter, I have a triangle ABC, and let's say this angle bisector and this angle bisector, they meet at point I. Another very common theorem or a result that people use is that angle BIC is going to be 90 plus half of angle A. A very similar result we had worked out in day 1, session 1, while working with angles. So this should be fairly easy. All I need to understand is what is an angle bisector. So when I think of the angle bisector BI, it is going to divide this big angle B into two equal parts. Similarly, this CI is going to divide this big angle C into two equal parts. So the starting property that I will use is that angle A plus angle B plus angle C is equal to 180 degree. What is this angle going to be? This angle is going to be B by 2. What is this angle going to be? This angle is going to be C by 2. So if I think of this angle, angle BIC, it is going to be 180 minus B by 2 minus C by 2. Sum of all angles is 180. So from 180, if I remove these two angles, I should get the measure of this angle. So 180 minus B by 2 minus C by 2, just rewrite this as minus B plus C by 2. And if I look at this equation, B plus C is equal to 180 minus A. So instead of B plus C, I can write 180 minus A. So 180 minus 180 by 2. So 180 minus 180 by 2 would be 90, and minus A by 2. And plus this minus into minus will become a plus. So 180 minus 90 plus A by 2 is going to be my angle BIC. 180 minus 90 is nothing but 90. So 90 plus A by 2 is going to be angle BIC, and hence proven. Not only this result, we worked on a very similar problem earlier where we had a triangle and we extended the sides, and these two angle bisectors for this angle and for this angle, they meet at this point, and we derived the relationship between this angle and once again angle A. So find the relationship between angle BOC and angle A, and very similar process is going to work for you. You will use angle sum property and you will know that this angle, so you will use angle sum property, you will use exterior angle, so this angle is going to be the sum of this angle and this angle, and then you will use that angle bisector, divides it into two equal parts. So take a couple of steps. We have already proved it. I have already proved it a couple of times. So now I'm leaving this problem to you. What is the connection between this angle and this angle?